Just hit a button, Morty. Give me a beat.
Oh man, okay, alright,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Shit Happens in Life. My name is Justin Hungwa, and I'll be navigating us through the fecal matter once again this week. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you who have subscribed and joined to the Patreon page or to the YouTube channel and the Facebook page, or the Facebook group, if you will. Thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to me, knowing that I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. Thank you for your comments and your input, and letting me know what it is that you guys are thinking as well. Today, in the fecal matter, we will be discussing the Namibian Defense Force again. I don't make the news. I don't go out there and speak in public. All I do is, listening and comprehension. And from what I can ascertain, the Minister of Defense is trying to push through a $500 million budget, and I think that might be a US dollar budget, because I think their annual budget is normally about 7 billion Namibian dollars. And after the comments that he made about maybe 3 weeks ago or so, it seems like Namibia is headed for its toughest period. And I don't say that lightly. I love Namibia. I think Namibia is, if I could be born anywhere else in the world, I'd rather not be born, because every country seems to be completely screwed, completely fucked. But Namibia, we have peace, we have harmony, we have stability, or so we thought. And it's only when you start blowing away the top layer of sand, you find bones, you find skeletons, you find all of these secrets and hidden agendas. So the Minister of Defense is coming out, and he wants a $500 million budget wants the House to pass a $500 million budget. And obviously, it's coronavirus, and, we've got a lot of people losing their jobs and stuff. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be paying our military personnel. Obviously, we need to protect the sovereignty of our borders and our people. And the title states that, is Namibia going to turn into Zimbabwe? Are we going to be kicking our African white farmers and white business owners and black or colored, if you will, independent thinkers out of the country? And it seems that that is what they are mobilizing to do. I'm not the only one that thinks this. If you watch the parliament session, Swart Boy clearly articulates this. I think I'll put a clip of it at the end of the video. And his fears are the same fears that I have. It seems like the Namibian military is mobilizing to turn the guns inward. As Namibians, we've got a population of about 2.8, let's call it 3 million Namibians. And with 3 million Namibians, there's only so much protection that we need. We're a very peaceful country. We don't have any problems with any country that I know of. Maybe they have some classified information that they're not letting us know, and Botswana is about to come and attack, or they want to take over the Caprivi Strip, or whatever it may be. But as far as I'm concerned, we are at peace with all of our neighbors. I mean, we are in SADC. We are literally surrounded by allies. We've got 15,000 troops that are active at the moment, and I think most of those are stationed in DRC, helping out with the conflict over there. But it seems that he wants to turn the guns inward. And based off of the comments that I spoke about 3 weeks ago, when he called out everybody that does not align their thinking with the government, and basically warns us, and I mean, if we can call a spade here, which is what I always like to do, he told white business owners to shut the fuck up and get on with it. And, independent thinkers, our brothers and our sisters, independent thinkers that don't agree with the government, to also just shut the fuck up. And, that has problems of its own. And now he's come out in parliament, and he has been, I don't understand what knowledge a Minister of Defense has about the audits that take place, the Auditor General's office, where he speaks about these people must have just come from university, and now they're sitting there and they do not know how to audit accurately or correctly, that is none of your business. Your business is in the defense of the nation, not the defense of a political party, but the defense of the nation. You are not elected and you are not put into this position being paid for by taxpayers' money, our money that we earn from the so-called 70% of people, the 70% business owners. They pay us, and in turn we pay taxes that pay your salary. And you're protecting a political party, you're not protecting the people. It's very clear and evident to see that in the way he articulates himself and what he says and how he goes about saying it. If you want to see the video that I put up previously, you can go ahead. I think I'll put a link in that in the description. But I am truly afraid that not only I will be displaced in my own country, but that the people that are creating jobs and employment will be displaced, removed from their farms by force, as in a military coup, very much like what we saw happen in Zimbabwe or Rhodesia, if you will. That is literally where we are sitting at right now. We're looking at one of the most peaceful, beautiful countries in the world, following a path that we have seen many a times before in Africa. And people have said nothing, and nothing has been done. And we have seen how this has harmed people. And I, for one, I am truly afraid that this is going to happen. And this is what their agenda or their motive is. When he had the exhibition of military capabilities, he came out citing business owners, independent thinkers, instead of telling us as taxpayers, what exactly are we paying for? What exactly are the military capabilities? All I saw were a bunch of people doing exercises in tanks, running around, running up and down, shooting at imaginary enemies. But not once has he ever gone in to articulate exactly what the taxpayers are paying for. What has that 7.2 billion, I think that was the last recorded one that I could find from 2015, what has that 7 billion brought us? You know, are we sending people for training? Or do we have our own training facilities now instead of always sending our personnel to Russia, to Cuba, to China, or to Germany? Can we now do that training in-house? What has that 7 billion brought us? None of that was addressed. All he came out while planes are flying in the air and helicopters and tanks was inciting that independent thinkers should shut up. And that is a very scary thought, ladies and gentlemen. We know what has happened in Rhodesia, and we have seen what the effects of, let's call it a mismanagement of government from the top to the bottom all throughout all of its sectors. We've already had our fish rot scandals. We've already had, even the anti-corruption. Like we've got so much that is going on. It is hard to keep track of what is on the plate. But this is something that we can clearly see. If we idly sit by, and I don't know what the solution is. I'm not going to pretend for a second that I know what the solution is, but I hope I can create awareness so that maybe you, whoever is qualified, whoever might see this, has a solution or knows what can be done or what needs to be done. But this is a time where us as Namibians, black, pink, brown, white, green, whatever color you are, this is a time for us to all stand together and be uniformed in what we're going to accept from our government. And we need to hold them accountable and hold them to a certain standard. And if they do not meet that standard or match that standard, we need to say something about this, because these are our lives and our children's lives and our children's children's lives. This might not be a fight for today or for tomorrow. It might be for the generation that comes after. But we cannot idly sit by and watch this nonsense and watch our country be stripped of its value and character and idly just sit by. We cannot allow this. So if you haven't seen the debate they've been having, my source is normally the Namibian. They do a very excellent job of covering the parliament sessions and uploading them to YouTube as well. I'll put a link in the description to the Namibian YouTube to the YouTube page, and you can watch the full video at length. I think it's about 14 minutes or so. But this is a very scary time for us, and I don't see a reason. We know what happens when you take farms away from people that have been farming for generations. We know what happens. I'm not saying that people don't deserve land. I'm saying that you should keep the agricultural industry as productive as possible. You should keep the business sector and the private sector operating to the best of its capabilities and abilities, because as you heard the man say himself, these are the businesses, or these are the people that own 70% of the businesses. These are the people that are allowing us to put bread and butter on the table. And government is clearly failing in that, clearly failing. We saw that with the State House being built. As much as they talk about creating employment, they went and they got Koreans, they got the Koreans to come and build the State House. When we've got, engineers, we've got construction workers, we've got civil engineers, we've got all of the capabilities and the resources necessary to build our own State House, yet those jobs were given to Koreans. So this is a time for us to actually take stock. This is time for us to sit back and think about which path we're going to see our country go down. Are we willing to see our country of only 3 million people go into a point of no return? Have you ever seen a country become insolvent? An entire country, an entire nation. South Africa could probably eat up most of the south. Botswana will take most of the east, and Angola will probably take most of the north, and Namibia will simply become a history lesson, a cautionary tale of what happens when people idly sit by and rest on their laurels and allow people that are not educated to hold positions in government and take advantage of the people that they're sworn to protect. Are we going to become a cautionary tale? I hope not. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you do like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, we are on Patreon, we are on YouTube, and we do have a Facebook page. If there's anything that you'd like to discuss or talk about, we've also got a WhatsApp group. The details can be found on our Facebook page. Please stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, and thank you.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to be on record, Honorable Speaker. What is today's date, man? 16 September 2020. I want to be on record. God forbid. But what I'm sensing every time I hear Wilgo Hafeni speaking is that this man will be killing many Namibians. God forbid. Because the posture of this man projects the deepest sense of readiness to institute a military coup, as well as to eliminate a huge section of Namibians. And they thought, Mugabe thought this was not going to happen until it happened. I'm saying, I'm asking you to put me on record, and I place myself on record. I'm seeing red signs coming, and I know he's related to Nicanor, and they are related to the Mushalengas and so on, and they are related to the Helmut Angulas and so on. I see red flags coming. That having been said, Honorable Speaker, no member of Parliament would want strategic and tactical defense capabilities of their country to be discussed willy-nilly, never. That would be irresponsible, whether you are opposition or wherever you are. The defense capabilities of a country is first its pride, because it finances it, and secondly, must be protected to ensure that the country's defense capabilities also has the full capability to defend territorial sovereignty and integrity. The difficulty that we see now is that the guns are turned consistently inward, as happened in Zimbabwe, towards citizens. And it's good that others on that side may be blind, but when the cannon turns and the neighbor's house is blasted by a cannon, your house is also not immune.
Just hit a button, Morty. Give me a beat.
Oh man, okay, all right.